You listeners out there, and welcome back to Double Trouble 361 with your two most favorite and loved J names in the world. I am Jamie.
And I am Jesse James, yo. Jesse James, so just in case y'all get me mixed up with a Justin or George or Henry. I don't know how people get my name wrong. Like every time I tell them, hello, thank you for calling so-and-so. My name is Jesse. Hi, Justin. I'm here to check out. I am not Justin. I am Jesse.
Well, I've got Janie, Jeannie. I don't know how they got Julie out of there. Jaime, Jackie, like.
I think Jaime is their big one, isn't it?
Yeah, Jaime's my big pet peeve. I am not a man.
I always get Justin. I don't know why I get Justin, but I always get Justin. And it doesn't matter what it is.
There's no clarification for mine, but for you can just always say the outlaw, and then it'll be like, oh, Jesse. Like, yeah.
Well, no, because there's other outlaws other than Jesse James. So if you say the outlaw, they're gonna think of freaking Davy Crockett or any kid or something like that. I have no idea, man. So we're actually doing another reunion. This is Double Trouble, so I'm hoping y'all are ready to get into some trouble with us. I know we want to get in trouble with you. And I know Jamie actually has a hot topic for us that just started recently. So we're back in the business. We just need to kind of clean out the webs a bit for our
Yes, me and Jesse have a sometimes friendship. We sometimes don't see each other.
we go 10 months without seeing each other.
Yes.
We rekindle our friendship.
Yes, we're like, something is just missing in my life. What is it?
Jesse.
Mine
too, because I was like, man. Because I was in Houston. It just made me think about our Houston trip that we went up there in. Was it Houston or was it Austin?
We went to Austin.
We went to Austin. Made me think of our Austin trip that we went up there.
I'm still planning for Houston because the strippers up there are bad bitches.
I actually went.
They won't let you go in the strip clubs without a man. I was so mad.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Because they said that the girls get in there that are jealous wives and stuff and assault the strippers. I was like, I'm here to see some ass. I don't care about whose man she's dancing on.
Well, if you ever want to go to Houston for a strip club, I'd be down to go with you.
Yes.
I wouldn't be interested, but I hear stories.
Oh yeah,
I hear stories. So what you got for us today?
I wanted to do the Kenneka Jenkins topic, actually.
Kenneka Jenkins, that's the one. I know we just talked about this off the podcast. That's the one.
She was found in a freezer. She's 19 years old in Rosemont inside of a Crowne Plaza hotel.
Wasn't there suspected a foul play for that though?
Well, they tried to say that there was no foul play involved, but I mean, she was found in a freezer by herself after she had been seen staggering around hotel cameras for an hour.
But if you're staggering around hotel cameras for about an hour and no one catches you...
Yeah, no one was paying attention.
Yeah, or either that or someone was there falling asleep on their job. Well, don't they have security watching the cameras too as well?
That's the thing. As a hotel person who works in the hotel industry and that has worked for that branch in particular, I can tell you that they do have a night security person that goes on the clock at 10 o'clock at night, and there's one usually in the daytime that kind of roams around here and there. That's mostly doing entry checks and checking things in for delivery, but they don't really do anything much about the security. But the night people from 10 o'clock to about 8 or 7 o'clock in the morning are supposed to be viewing security cameras and walking each and every single floor. So I'm kind of wondering exactly how she staggered around, quite obviously, because when you see the videos, she almost bit it on the edge of a stairwell. Almost fell over the stairwell at the end. You know how it's level with you, and you kind of jerk. And she caught herself, fortunately, and didn't wipe out. But you could see her bumping into walls and gliding along the walls. And
so, how long was it until they actually found the body? Because
they said at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So when the surveillance actually saw, what time did she stumble in there?
It was around 11.
11, and they didn't find her until 3?
Yeah, they didn't find out that she was gone until her friends apparently took her car home and her cell phone and her keys and called her parents saying that they didn't know where she was at after leaving her there.
Wow. Not until 3 o'clock in the morning, though?
Yeah, and then the parents came, and then they were telling them to get out of the hotel. You can't wait in the lobby. Please stop knocking on doors trying to find your child, etc., etc. And I'm like, that is some crap right there. People are looking for their baby, and you're calling the cops on them for looking for their child.
Yeah, no joke. I would probably be that parent too, trying to find my child. Doesn't matter what age my child is, rather if it's an adult, rather my child was adult or not.
Yeah,
if I heard with friends, I would.
Yeah, you hear the situation. My daughter went missing at a hotel party and nobody knows where she is, and they just picked up her shit and left her there with no phone to call me.
Shit, I'd be fucking there in a heartbeat. I'd be there in 10 minutes, even though it's a 4-hour drive.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, that's just insane because I wonder if anybody was involved in. My question is, where was security? Did you read any stories about where security was?
They haven't said where security was or who was watching the cameras or who was neglecting the cameras. But I'm telling you right now, the fact that they even said that they didn't see her on surveillance was damn near impossible because they have a camera, and this is something that you guys should all know. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it'll hurt you, whatever. Every single hotel has a camera on every single floor. Most of the time, they have them at either end of the corridor on every single floor. And then they also have cameras at every entrance and exit. That includes public as well as service entrance and exit, so they can see who comes and goes no matter where it is. So even those doors that you have at the end of the hall and in the lobby, the front door, the service doors where they get deliveries, all of them have cameras. And also all of the public areas such as kitchens and the front desk area where the workers are, those all have cameras because they need proof of accidents or, liability stuff, as well as if anybody's stealing from the front desk. So it's not like you're not going to be seen. You're going to be seen up until you enter your room. And that's the only place where there's a blind area.
That's actually pretty interesting to hear, but I'm surprised that no one...
that no one said anything about that. Like, you have a girl stumbling around the hallway for an hour going up and down on the floors.
I mean, at 11 o'clock at night, who's stumbling in.
Yeah.
And no one noticed this individual?
Apparently nobody said nobody saw her, and they're saying that possibly hotel employees saw her and didn't say anything. As a hotel employee, even if you think it's something that's trivial, it's still your job to mention it to people, especially if it's an intoxicated guest.
Right.
And they're supposed to find said intoxicated guests, sit them down in the lobby, ask them where their room is, and get them back to their room. If they don't have a room, they have to send them home by cab. That's kind of hotel procedure.
Huh. That's actually something...
So sorry, Crown Plaza, you dropped the ball on this one. You dropped the ball.
Oh, so it was Crown Plaza who actually dropped it. Damn.
So yeah, they're going to be... I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is they're going to try to settle out of court so that they don't end up losing millions upon millions of dollars and try to pay Kenneka's family off. But if I were them, I wouldn't settle for that because that was a life of my child. And it was obviously foul play because she was wandering around and her friends decided just to up and leave her. Right.
I mean, I'm kind of more disappointed with the friends. Like, how do you go and up and leave your friends?
They're so-called friends. Honestly, like, I can tell you this right now. When you get invited to, like, hotel parties or condo parties or parties with, like, doctors and surgeons, it's never a good idea to go and just... any party, really. It's never a good idea to go and drink off your ass. I'm telling everybody this, male, female. It's never good to get drunk, and it's never good to drink anything you didn't pour. Mm-hmm. So...
because I remember going to Houston, but I know guys were buying my drinks, though, but I was sitting at the front bar, so I was paying close attention to my bartender, to what they were...
I would have felt bad for you if you got roofied, but I'd still kind of snicker a little bit. Just to be honest.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I know who I can trust. No, I'm kidding. No, I know who I can trust and just have a video later on YouTube about it. Yeah, because Jesse, he was roofied.
Like, I would say, like, if you got roofied and I know you were roofied, I would literally, like, save you, but then I would, like, let you drunkenly stumble around the hotel room and film it.
That's a good friend right there. At least I would have evidence.
Yep.
No, I didn't get roofied. I was in Houston. I was actually working. I was helping out with the whole Hurricane Harvey thing that was coming up, which still people are still impacted as of now.
And then his whole family came in, and now Puerto Rico's gone.
Yeah, no joke. So I was there. I was helping out, and I went to a bar called Georgia's Country Sports Bar. It's a gay bar, so shout out to y'all. And I actually had a good time. I went there the first time, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take $40 with me. I'm going to pay for, 1 or 2 drinks, along the way. All right, cool, whatever. I wind up just paying for 1 drink. One guy was filling me off on my chest, my arms, and he goes, "Oh, man, you're so good looking, doing this number."
He wanted that bear meat. That's what he
wanted. Ladies, if you don't think us men understand sexualized
sexual harassment,
and that's what I was feeling, and I just looked at him and said, either you're gonna lose a finger or you're gonna buy me a drink, because one of us is gonna go home happy tonight. So he told the bartender, let me get 3 shots or whatever, put it on my tab. So the bartender literally made me 3 shots, and I had him there, and I drank all 3 of them. Then there was another guy that I was... he left after a while, being all drunk. So he left. There was another guy I had called out because he was still babysitting his drink, and the bartender says, "Are you done with it?" I was like, "You're not going to finish your drink?" I was like, "Man, that's wussy stuff right there, man. I don't know about all that nonsense." And he looked at me. He's like, "Well, if I drink one, he has to drink one. Well, what is he drinking?" I was like, "I'm drinking Dos Equis, and I don't babysit my drinks." Mm-hmm. So I was being honest and like, I guess flirtatious in this sense. So I know I'm going to get in trouble. And I told Ryan the story, and so he bought me my drink. So I had 3 Dos Equis, so I had a total of 4. I only paid for 1 drink. So
wow.
I didn't have to pay for anything. So I still walked away with...
Yeah, I can't do that because then they'll stalk me all fucking night and be like, "So are you down for me? So you coming home?"
No, I didn't go home with anybody because, I mean, 1, I was working up there, and 2, my hotel was only 30 minutes away. And,
I can't do it as a woman because they try to, like, get you to go home with them, like, super bad, and I'm just like, no.
No, I wound up actually hanging out with him on Friday with his friends at a pub, so...
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and then we hit back to his place, and we drank a little bit more, and I'll leave the rest of the imagination from there.
At least we know Ryan knows the story.
Okay. Yeah, he does. He does know the story. We have a unique relationship that not many people understand. So it's whatever.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So, but anywho, there was that, and then now there's this last one we're actually going to say for last, which is the NFL players that are actually taking a kneel down during our national anthem, our flag. And how do you feel about that?
I think that okay, so this is what it is. People are talking about it's disrespect to the flag, but you have so many other things that are disrespecting to the flag. You have your congressmen not putting their hand over their heart during the Pledge of Allegiance. You have some of them not even standing for it and sitting on their ass, not doing it. And then there's also constitutional laws about how you're supposed to display the flag, carry the flag. And a lot of people have broken those rules, those laws, and nobody says anything about that. But as soon as the NFL players, and not to call the race card, but as soon as the black NFL player decides to kneel down, everybody has a problem with it all of a sudden, saying that he's disrespecting America. Well, the thing about that is he's not disrespecting America because of, you're saying that these people fought for our country and fought for our liberties and fought for our freedom. That's part of our freedom, is to do what we choose when the national anthem comes on. If I don't want to sing, I don't have to sing. If I don't want to put my hand over my heart, I don't have to put my hand over my heart. He's not the first one to not go along with the national anthem, yet he is the center of it. Mm-hmm. Now, he's kneeling to protest silently and peacefully, not picking up torches and running around a college campus, doing it peacefully.
Like the Ku Klux Klan?
Yeah.
The white supremacy?
The 50% of Virginia?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he's doing it peacefully and silently instead of looting or raiding or wrecking something, and people have a problem with it. Now, he's doing it to reflect a protest against the people who have been shot and killed by police officers, the African Americans who have plenty of opposition against them in life, and that's what he's doing. Mm. And the fact that the whole Dallas team in Texas, South Texas, took a knee, including the owner, yeah, y'all need to go somewhere with that crap. He can do whatever he wants to do. They're paying him to play. The Dallas Cowboys do it? Yes. Wow. They're paying him to play. They're not paying him to sing the national anthem. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until recently that the players are actually out there on the field during the anthem. So the more you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing. Here's my opinion on the flag, because this is how I was actually talking about it to a coworker of mine at work, and she asked for my opinion, and my opinion was this. I was like, I will respect the flag in the sense of what it stands for, because it's very symbolic to me as to what it actually initially stands for. For the people, the men and women, for the war and everything, the war wasn't actually implemented to save our freedom of rights or freedom of speech or any of that, because nobody was really attacking America at this point in time until we actually had a civil war. If my history is actually correct, we initiated and volunteered ourselves to go help and fight World War II. Yep. Then Pearl Harbor came back. They fought us because of I forgot what what it was, what was for, whatever at that time. My history isn't pretty memorable, but not that much memorable for it. But the sacrifices that our men and women actually gave around that time, and before that, yes, if it was before World War I and World War II, yes, they were fighting for our freedoms, our rights, and our freedoms to actually have to be able to do what we do and have to be able to speak for free and be able to implement our own freedom, our own constitution, and we are the people. That at that time, yes, was for our freedom. Anything else before that, it was a war that shouldn't have been fought, or somebody was trying to take control or overseas and to try to take over the United States or something else, and that could possibly implement as freedom of speech. But these people who actually did it, and we have somebody who's a president who actually was drafted 5 times, in a sense, and came up with every excuse in the book not to be drafted into the military. It's ridiculous. The flag actually stands for something, it symbolizes to it. Rather if you took a kneel, or if you stand and if you pledge, I will always I will pledge allegiance to the United States of America for the freedom and for what it's at. Not because it's under one God. I don't believe that it should be under one God, but under one nation, because we are a nation. That's just how I feel. And will I still stand and whatnot? Yeah, I would still stand and pledge allegiance to it. Do I admire what these football players and what other people are doing? Yes, I do, because it's their freedom of speech, freedom of what's the other one? Freedom of speech and freedom of
their rights.
They're basically their rights. The freedom of expression. That's the word. They're basically to be able to do all of that, and what people do with that is entirely up to them, And for us to actually say that we fought wars to fight our freedoms. Yes, we fought war for our freedom, but some of the wars that we have were not even worth having to begin with.
Like the whole Civil War situation. Like, y'all could have just dropped it, but it was like, no, we want to enslave black people forever.
Yeah, exactly. So if our war was for an on particular reason, the war should be implemented for our freedom here, such as health insurance, health cares, trying to make affordable healthcare even more affordable instead of having to pay so much money up the ass on stuff like marriage and gay marriage or whatever, or LGBTQ, LA plus, whatever the whole alphabet is, A through Z thing going on right now. Whatever it is that we are fighting for, let's fight for that, and not saying, oh, well, it's a disrespectful to our country because the men and women who fought. Look, I have total respect for the men and women who have to fight and serve the war under a president who may or may not be knowing what they're doing. And I say may or may not because I can't say he doesn't know what he's doing, and he may know what he's doing too at the same time. I'm not all for the president either as well. I didn't vote for him, but I don't actually respect the decisions and the stuff that he says that comes out of his mouth. That's just me, and that's how I will stand by that.
I don't like the fact that he really has no tact as the president of the United States, and that he's basically like a petulant child. And there was a line that I heard, I think I was watching American Horror Stories, that there is nothing more terrifying than a humiliated man.
Yeah, exactly.
So we basically have a man who easily gets intimidated and then easily gets humiliated, and then he becomes boisterous about his rebuttal to it, and it's going to cost us a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, though, but his rebuttal to the whole thing of that, I'm not sure if it was...
To fire them?
Yeah, to fire them. He goes, if someone doesn't sign up for the Pledge of Allegiance or to the American flag, they all should be fired. Look, you cannot fire for somebody for speaking out or be able to express their freedom.
That's also, if the person is a part of the government, they can't do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, therefore, I think we do what we do, and it goes to the same aspect as somebody commenting on this video or in any other video, and they're expressing how they feel. Now, there's a difference between expressing how you feel and actually being a bigot. So, if you're expressing how you feel and it's using the right proper terms and technology by defending yourself to as why you feel the way you feel without being a total complete idiot by sounding that. But in other words, here's an example. What we're doing is basically expressing our freedom of speech and how we feel and implement it. Now, if I go back and I say the president was just being a fucking retard and being fucking stupid, he's just being a bigot or whatever, then I'm just basically being a bigot myself and just basically giving out the hate that comes and implements with it. So that's just the difference from it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it really does have to do with tact and the way he carries himself, and the fact that they let someone who has tantrums be the president of the United States, and all the people that voted for him. I don't know what was running through your mind. I guess you thought that when he said "Make America Great Again," you wanted it to go back to like the 1940s before there was segregation and all this other stuff. And I get it. That's
more further from the 1940s, because President Lincoln was the 16th president. That was back in 1940s, 1930s.
No, he was further back than that.
Further back than that,
yeah.
18.
He's pretty back there.
Yeah,
he's pretty back there.
Yeah, we would have to go all the way back to Abraham Lincoln.
But segregation really wasn't a thing that was highly implemented and highly put upon the U.S. until the 1960s.
Oh, okay.
So
all right, cool.
it's still in people's minds.
Still sucks.
Yeah. Like my mother got to actually see segregation because she was born in 1940. Like she got to her parents, my grandparents.
Well, not only that though, but we're also not dealing with segregation too as well. But I think this is also the period in time where AIDS in the 80s were very bad too as well.
Yeah.
You know, so we're dealing with a lot here. I mean,
so it's like I know he probably if he had his way, everything would go back to being all about being a Christian and all about being straight and all about being a man in power.
Keep religion out of politics.
And yeah, we're supposed to keep religion out of the government. Like it's not supposed to mix ever. And schools as well. It's like I don't. Yeah.
Religion should just be religion by itself, and how you feel about religion. That's entirely up to you and how you feel. You might not like what changes implement because of your religion, but doesn't mean everybody has to live by the same implements as you do.
The way I see it is religion is a personal experience. The law is a universal must-have experience, basically, because the law is the law. You have to follow laws. You don't have to follow a Christian principle. You don't have to follow Catholic principles. You don't have to follow atheist principles or anything of the following. That is a personal choice to what God you believe in, what God you don't believe in, and how you want to govern your life by what rules. So that should have your personal problems about religion and abortion and same-sex marriage should not have anything to do with the laws. Now, the fact that they said that gay marriage was illegal, I understand how it was illegal at first because, husband, wife, make a baby, make more people, cool. Now we have tons of people, so we really don't need to make any more people, and our economy is very poor. So the fact that they have a problem,
let us be gay.
Yeah, just let them be gay.
Let us be gay. Let us be lesbian. Let us be queer. Let us be bisexual. Let us be lesbian.
And everyone's like, "Oh, well, I don't like having people around my kids, and it messes with my religion." And they're doing the whole gay agenda thing. I was like, the gay people don't have an agenda except to live the way straight people do and have just as many rights as they do.
Exactly.
So all this stuff about religion and you hating this and that should have nothing to do with your political stance.
Yep, I mean it's true, because that's exactly what needs to be implemented, and a lot of it's just not. So it's just like, dude, like what the fuck's going on?
Like honestly, why does it matter who anybody's sleeping with? I mean, that if it goes against your religion, don't watch it, don't do it, don't participate in it. That's like part of everybody's orthodox.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, who's really watching all of this? Like, who's? Yeah. How are you?
It's like, oh my god, I just found out my neighbor was gay like 2 weeks ago, even though he's been here for 6 years, and now I suddenly have a problem with him after 6 years.
Like, yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and sabotage his home and
let's just,
go spray
set
paint
on fire and yeah,
and put spray paint fag on
and
top
queer,
of it, or
all over
queer.
The place.
Yeah, that's just horrible for that to even happen to anybody, especially if it's. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot and if the roles were reversed and straight
was not the thing
and the gay was a thing, and it would break a lot of people. Straight people actually would feel what we feel.
Yeah.
And I don't think there would ever be a point in time where that would actually ever come to that point. I don't think it would ever.
I honestly want to see a world, and I know this is going to sound weird, I want to see a world that is kind of neutral in a way.
The world would not exist.
The world would not. It would exist, but if you think about it, like there was an episode of Futurama where they didn't have genders and everything was fine. Like where it didn't matter if you were gay, straight, male, female, black, white, whatever. Everything was just neutralized to where it's just a person is a person is a person. So you like them for their personality or you don't.
Exactly.
That's pretty much how you're supposed to operate.
You don't have to worry about if somebody was bisexual or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You accept them for who they are and whatnot, and their flaws and their mistakes. I have no idea.
Like I have a bunch of people that I know that are like against gay, like they're against gay or they're against transgender or whatever, and it's like until they do something that's.
It's not just straight people. I mean, gay people even hate other gay people.
Yeah, like our gay people hate transgender people, and I'm just like, where's the rift? Why is there a rift? Like, none of it concerns the other parties. Like,
yes, we're supposed to be united, and we're working against each other. Damn it! I mean, I don't know. This whole world, I'm still trying to kind of stay
I do too. I stay out of it. Like, I help and advocate for the gay community, and I do my part to help them and do the rallies and whatnot. And it's just like just because you're an ally doesn't mean that you're changing your way of life. It just means that you're appreciative and that you're accepting of what's going on. It doesn't mean that you are now what you're advocating. If I go advocate llamas, that doesn't mean I'm going to turn to a llama tomorrow. So I don't understand why people are so about it. And if you don't like it, again, you don't have to come to. It's not like they like just go around like flashing dick on your doorstep or like kissing each other like in your bedroom.
Knocking your door. Yes, we're here to talk about our gayness, please.
Yeah, would you take our gayness?
Would you take about 5 minutes of just watching us kiss and suck each other off, please?
Yeah, exactly. That's not happening. It's not. They're like, oh my god, they're making out. It's in my face. You're in there, too.
We would be the gay Jehovah's Witness or the gay Mormons just knocking on our door. Excuse me, ma'am.
Do you have a minute to talk about how good dick feels up the booty hole?
Do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior, Madonna?
You have time to talk about the proper fundamentals of scissoring?
Do you have the proper fundamentals to talk about our slip and slides and how we're going to do our transition? Yes. Would you like to sit in the medical rooms and see how that's done?
Yes, exactly. It doesn't happen that way.
My God.
Oh, man.
We're going to be bumping donuts all day.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can we borrow your room because we're too cheap to buy a hotel?
Yeah. Just going to do this on your front lawn. Just your front lawn.
Just your front lawn. You can
Which neighbors do you hate the most? Hold on. We'll face that way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, but if someone came knocking on my door for that, I'd be like, go for it.
Right? Exactly.
I mean, just clean up your mess when you're done. Like, shit. I mean,
Lysol it down.
Exactly. I don't need your nut on my sheets because I just bought those. And I just washed them, damn it. Anywho, so that's, wow, we actually got a lot done within before the 30 minutes is actually up. And that's, I'm actually really excited about that. So hopefully we can get more hot topics like this up and running. Hopefully at least once a week because I don't work at 2 jobs. So.
We can do it once every 2 weeks. So that way, find a clear thing.
Kind of gives us more time to actually.
So that means we'll have 2 a month.
Yeah, sure. All right, cool. We'll do that. All right, guys. My name is Jesse James. This is Jamie Campbell. What's Jesse and James? It would be cool if your first name was actually James. But Jesse James.
Yeah, I really feel like that would be great if you were a James or James and a Jamie, or we were Jesse and Jamie kind of makes sense, but it's backwards because
we could have done the whole like
Jesse and James. Yes.
Team Rocket slogan.
Team Rocket,
prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
To protect the world from devastation. Okay, that's copyrighted, so I can't go the full thing. All right, guys, thanks. I appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll see y'all bitches later.
Bye.